Today I'm Rupali Deshmukh going to deal with the prose section 1.3 The Cop and the Anthem written by O. Henry. Before going towards the lesson or before going to have a look on the lesson, let's see who is the author of this story. O. Henry is the author of this lesson. O. Henry is an American short story writer. His real name is William Sidney Porter. O. Henry is famous for short stories with a twist at the end. And he is famous for his stories like The Gift of Magi, The Last Leaf, The Open Window, and The Cop and the Anthem. The Cop and the Anthem is also the story which is having irony at the end. There is a twist at the end. What is irony? Irony of life hits us when we least expect it. Sometimes in our life good things come with goodbyes. It means, as Shakespeare said, all is well that ends is well. Like that. Sometimes, the character in the story struggle a lot to achieve something, but at the end he'll give up. He thinks that it is impossible task for us. He leave that dream, he leave that goal, and suddenly at the end he achieved that. Maybe that is good, maybe that is bad. And it happens in our life that we get the things at a time when we most desire to get it. But when we get it, at the point when we don't expect it, and suddenly something happen in life with a different cause, the things occur in our life, we get something which we don't expect, and which we expect that don't come to our life. That is the irony of life. Let's see the characterization of the story, The Cop and the Anthem. The protagonist of the story is Soapy. Soapy is the young man, but the story is about this young man who has a dream, who chases his dream. He does a lot of efforts to chase his dream, and his dream is to get Winter Island. And that Winter Island here in the story means prison. You may be surprised. Ma'am said that protagonist is Soapy. He's a young man. And why he wants to go to prison? That's what I'm not going to tell you now. We'll see that later. But at this young age, generally youngsters have different dreams. Like to be a doctor, to be an engineer, to be a teacher, to be a so and so on. Okay? But why a person wants to go to jail? Why he wants to get himself in a prison? This is what the story which we are going to enjoy. Then there are 6 policemen in the stories with different policemen are there. Waiters at restaurants, the umbrella man, the lady, the organist, and the judge are the characters in the story. See here, the Soapy is sitting over there, and it seems that he is thinking something. See what is written here over here in the box. He is sitting on a bench. Winter is coming and he is thinking what to do to get arrested because he needs a place to stay warm. Yes. Now see, he is a young man without family. He has no job, he has no food, shelter, nothing. So winter is going to come now, and because of that he is badly in need of shelter, food, and the place where he can protect himself. At this situation, naturally youngsters will think to do a job, to get a house on rent, it's simply impossible to get own home. So what is better? To get a home, or at least a place where you can live safely. But instead of doing job, instead of taking efforts to get job and do something, he thought to go to prison because he thought that if he will go to prison by doing some crime, naturally he will get a place where he can stay warm. Naturally he will get place where he can get food twice a day, and of course his winter season his winter season will pass on. So for that purpose he had some plannings, and how he, that's what we are going to see now. See in the next slide what happened with Sophie. See what happened with Sophie. He tried his first attempt. He saw a nice restaurant where Sophie wants to go. Sophie wants to go inside. He goes to a fancy restaurant, but he's not dressed nice. So the not waiter actually in the first restaurant. The his second attempt was, see, his second plan is to break the window of a store, and the cop will be coming and arrest him, but the cop wouldn't arrest him because he did not believe him, because he was just standing there and smiling. How funny. See, Sophie plan here to throw stones on the store window, and of course because of that glass is broken, the owner will come, call the cop and ask cop to arrest Sophie, and so the things happen like this. But he's very unfortunate man, as he was unable to go to his destination, his island. What happened? See, he throws stones on the window. People gather over there because of the sound of the glass breaking. The cop also reached there as he was nearby, and the cop started asking people who threw stone on it, who is the culprit. And our hero of the story, our protagonist, Sophie, said, "Yes, don't you think it's me? Yes, I am the person who threw stones on the glass. Arrest me." The cop was confused because he thought that how can it possible? The person who throws stones or the person who does crime will not wait until the cop come. The person who has done the crime will run away. Why he should wait for the cop? So because of this reason, and most important thing, the Soapy was standing there with smiling face. So cop didn't believe on him and let him go and said, "You go from here." And he saw that the man was running after the car, and the cop thought that yes, he's the real culprit, and cop ran behind that man who was running behind the car. Then his next attempt is again the next restaurant. Soapy planned well. He thought that he will go to restaurant, as he thought earlier, will order expensive food and will have enough food, and then it is a time to pay money. He will say, "No, I don't have money." The same thing happened. As per his plan, he went to restaurant and he ordered food and he has a good meal. But the waiter came and asked him, "You have to pay the bill." But he says, "I have no money." As per his plan, it's work. But the waiter, who seems a chief of the other waiters, came over there and asked Soapy to pay the bill. Soapy said, "Sorry, I don't have money to pay." Waiter got angry. He fired him. He got very angry. He threw Soapy on the road and gave him words and said never to come here. Unfortunately, this third attempt of going towards his island is failed. Now the next, that is fourth attempt, is yelling at the road. Soapy got frustrated and he started yelling at the road. He saw people who were passing by. He was yelling at them because he thought these people will complain cop. Maybe these people will take him to the police or something like this happened. But unfortunately, nobody scolded him. Nobody called cop and nobody took him to the police station. But people thought that he's a mad man. He's having some bad happenings in his life, so nobody troubled him and leave him on the road as he was yelling at the people. Like this, his fourth attempt was, and then he reached a place where there was a man having umbrella, and this was the fifth attempt of the Soapy. He thought to steal that umbrella. He grabbed that umbrella. He ran fast. Actually, he's trying to show the man that I'm running very fast, but he means Soapy wants the man to come and catch Soapy and give him to the police, or at least to call the police. But what happened? See, the umbrella man ran behind the Soapy, caught Soapy, and asked him to return my umbrella. Soapy said, "No, I won't. Why should I? It's mine." Okay. The umbrella man said, "Are you sure? Is it yours?" Soapy said, "Yes, it's mine." The man said, "Okay, maybe it's yours." And he left that umbrella with Soapy and he left that place. Oh, see here. Why it happens? Maybe the man with umbrella is the thief who had stolen that by somebody, from somebody, or maybe he is the person who got that umbrella by other place. So he left that umbrella with Soapy, and like this his last or the fifth attempt, not last actually, his fifth attempt is unsuccessful. Now it's late night, so he wants to go to bed, not actually bed, he wants to sleep now. So he went to a place where he slept at last night and he thought, let's day is over, so he should have a sleep. But at the same time, when he reached to the nearby church, he listened some hymn. The music, the prayer, anthem, and he got attracted towards that anthem. And that reminded him the past. The past in which he was happy with his family. Now his family is not with him. He was happy with his family, friends, and other people. The days were really golden days of his life. And he thought, why he is wasting his time in robbery, not robbery actually, robbery, as he tried to steal that umbrella, and why he's trying to do a crime, to go to prison. Instead of that, he should do something else. See what is given here in the slide. First we'll have a look on that, then I'll explain you what happened next. Soapy did not think for another plan. He thought that he wants to change. He decides to be the same man as he was when he was young. He thought that he could do something better than be a homeless man, and a man offered him a job and he obtains the job, but that's not everything. As I said, Sophie overheard the music, soft, melodious music that is nothing but an anthem. Here, anthem means not the anthem which you think, maybe you are thinking about national anthem. No, here anthem means the hymn from church. See here the sign of church over here. Yes, it's church. He listened that hymn and the melodious music which changed his mind, and he took a decision that leave all the bad habits instead of taking efforts to do a crime and go to prison. He thought to change himself to be a good man as he was. There is a drastic change in his thought, and he thought that he will not do any kind of crime because he is not willing to go to prison, because he thought that it's not his destiny. He should not have such bad work again. He won't do this kind of work which he did, or the attempts to go to his dream island. Instead of that, he said that he will take efforts to get job, to get money and home and food. Next, what happened? Finally, our protagonist come to the point when he have a good decision. There is a reformation in his personality. So, as I said, all is well, end is well. Okay, but this is not the end. As O. Henry is famous for his irony, and he thought to change himself. He want to go to. He wants to. He want here. He wants to be a good man. He wants to achieve a good target, to be a good human being, to get food and shelter and so on. But unfortunately, the cop catch him. And on the next morning, yes, on the next morning, he was there in front of judge. And by listening all the situation and the happenings, judge decided to give him punishment. He asked Soapy, or he punished Soapy to be there in jail for 3 months. This is what the twist of the story. We think that it is too good that the protagonist got transformed, he got changed. Now he wants to be a good man, but unfortunately, there is irony in the story, irony in the life of the protagonist, Soapy, that when he thought to transform and to be a good human being, destiny had something else for him, and he got punished and went to the prison. I should not say now the island or winter island. He went to the prison, unfortunately. So this is what the story of the Soapy and his life. Thank you so much, students, for listening, and best of luck for your assignment and Google quiz.